It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Houston Texans and the Arizona Cardinals. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at State Farm Stadium here in Glendale. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, happy to be with you. And CD, as we get this thing going, give the folks at home something to keep their eye on.
The running game for both teams, because I think this is going to be an old-fashioned, old-school type of a game. Physical, who wins up front, who runs the ball the best and controls the clock, they will come out the victor.
Now the big leg of Matt Prater ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
Every time he leads his team out, there's no questioning. He's put the work in to earn his place in the NFL. There's no shortage of stories we've heard throughout his career about the effort he puts in to be in this spot. And that motivates everybody on his team.
That's pulled in by Brooks. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. But he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. They run with Gore out of the shotgun. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Stroud. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Throwing now is Stroud. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical that it'd be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
Gore is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Stroud to throw it. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Nico Collins from 4 yards out. And the Texans are on the board first here this afternoon.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but my only thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays.
And it was Nico Collins who finished it off with a touchdown reception.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the number 1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
2 yards on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd and 3. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
To throw is Murray. That's complete to Michael Wilson.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
That good for 19 and a first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender, and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Here's 2nd and 10. Murray a give. This is Connor. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Shotgun now for Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Harrison. And he'll be stopped here well short of the first down at the 24-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Prater's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
Texans football to start quarter 2. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
16 more on that one and another first down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that?
Play action. Stroud now. Another one caught by Collins.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time.
Nixon will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Well, now how about this return? And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it.
Got his man. It's George.
And he goes out right around the 39.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd down and 4.
On the counter, it's Connor. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Second and a couple. Connor up the middle. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. Again, a run with Connor. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. That is caught. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on 3rd. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Screen pass to Connor. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10. Murray now. That's complete to his running back, Connor. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. Third and 9 here. From the gun, Murray. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
4th down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Prater's kick is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Texans offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Stroud. There's Stephon Diggs for the catch on the slant. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here now, 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside. Now a 3rd and 6. Stroud looking to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
The Texans send the punter out. Greg George deep for Arizona. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Azeez Al-Shaair in to make the stop. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And able to get this out to the 25. The Cardinals offense and their veteran running back James Conner ready for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. 3rd quarter starts with a run from Conner, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, here's Murray. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Murray now to throw. Goes right back to McBride. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And Stroud now to throw. That's complete to Dell. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now Stroud. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Got his man, Dell. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Here's Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field. Defensively, make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
On 1st down, it's Gore. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Stroud to throw it.
toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud.
Drops it underneath the goal. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told, and the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
So out now come the Cardinals. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale.
Now a 2nd and 10.
It's Cardinal football, but they trail here as we get set to bring you the fourth and final quarter.
He's got McBride here over the middle.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Give him 3 yards there on the first down pickup. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up second down. Shotgun now from Murray. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Murray going to throw.
That is caught downfield by Harrison.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Oh, wide open receiver. It's Harrison.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Eligible receiver downfield.
A costly penalty there. A lineman got downfield, and for the moment, that cost him 6 points. Here's Murray. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Nifty job there on the scramble. Got 12 yards, and now it's second down.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
Here's 2nd and 3.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. From the gun on third down, Murray. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the former first-rounder, Jimmy Ward.
And the Texans force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. Wear down the clock and make them use their timeouts in this situation.
They'll try and choose some clock with Gore. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On third down, he'll drop to throw. They go with a screen to Gore. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Kyler Murray now in the Cardinal offense. Down by 15. A minute 50 to play. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance.
Got his man. It's Dortch.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Now Murray. He'll get that complete to Harrison. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That escapes the sack. That to the sideline and incomplete. Boy, they're going to say there's a receiver in the area. That was close to grounding, but it's second down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And while it's probably going to take a miracle at this stage, if they come down with this one in the end zone, they've still got a fighting chance. That one, however, winds up incomplete.
And now a tough spot here. This is 3rd and 10. Murray to air it out again. A short one here, caught by McBride. And he does not get to the first down marker as they stop him at the 19.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. Throw on the right side, complete to Harrison. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Well, they need to score, and score quick. 1 timeout remaining. Final minute, 1st and 10. From the gun, Murray. Throw left side, hauled in by McBride. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now Murray again. Throw left side, complete. That's McBride. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Here we go, 1st and goal. Murray now. Buying time to his left. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for...
Now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. And it's good, so that will get them back within 1 score. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. So still a chance with just over 20 seconds to go, but they need to get this one back, no doubt. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The visitors' offense and C.J. Stroud getting ready for this next drive. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one.
So this one in the win column for the Texans, and it was thanks in large part to the play of their second-year quarterback.
Yeah, the numbers don't jump off the page, but he was a steady influence back there. He had a couple of touchdown passes on the afternoon. His guys rallied around him, and they're going to come away victorious.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long and sign off from the desert.